Welcome to Middle TN Hikes, and today we're at Henry Horton State Park. I was wanting to do the Adeline Wilhoite trail. But it's proven to be kind of difficult to get to. The trailhead is in the campground and you have to be a registered camper to get in there, and I just day hike. So I did find, after talking to somebody in the park office, I did find a way to get in without having to walk too many extra miles, because all the trails, there were several places I could park and take connector trails, but I mean, it added 2 or 3 miles to the adventure. So if you go all the way through the park, and right on the edge of the border there's a little, almost unmarked, I mean, it's got a tiny little sign, little gravel drive. I was able to park there. So this is the Wetlands trail, and from there we'll get to the Adeline Wilhoite trail. We're gonna make it work. It's just gonna take a minute. We'll figure it out. So you get on River Road, to like you're going in the campgrounds, and you go past the camp office, and the primitive camping and all that, on down this skinny little road called River Road, and you'll see the Hickory Ridge trail entrance right there. But I don't want to do that trail today. So you get down here, and when you start seeing mailboxes off in the distance, start slowing down because you're about to leave the park. And there it is. A little bitty sign that says Wetlands, and a gravel driveway with a gate. First time I pulled in here, I thought it was a maintenance road, so I backed out and went back to the park office. They said you could park about 12 vehicles down at the end of this thing. Oh, look, there's the trailhead right there. I ran into a lot of deer trying to find this trailhead. They're evidently pretty comfortable around here. So the Wetlands trail starts off with that trailhead back there. And it's kind of a mixed gravel, dirt kind of trail through a field. It almost looks like it's snowing, because whatever this little plant is, it's got little puffs of white things floating everywhere. So the Wetlands trail is kind of strange. It's flat open field, and there seems to be these recessed areas that I guess are usually wet, usually underwater. They got a little dock here, but the information board's empty and someone left a hat. So I guess it's just dry. So we're setting heat records today, and I pick a trail with no canopy. Go figure. Okay, so the trail is just mowed right through a field. You got this thick brush here. And you're gonna walk up on some stuff. about every 50 feet or so, some little critter scurries away from me. I don't realize I'm right on top of him, and he scares me probably worse than I scared him. So be aware, the grass is tall in the field, you're gonna get a startle or two. When you make it back to the back of the field, there is some shade down here by the river. There's even a little staircase that goes down to the river. So I don't know what the fishing rules are, but might want to look into that if that's your thing. So when you get down near the river, the trail opens up a lot, which is a good thing because the grass was tall enough on the skinny parts of the trail where it was just smacking against you. So at the back of the Wetlands trail, there's this huge observation tower, I guess. I mean, it's 2 stories up. And you can see out over the field. So, I'm not a bird watcher, but if you are, this might be a thing. This is in the shade. So I'm going to enjoy the view and enjoy a nice drink. Then I'm going to get back on the trail. I did notice the signs on the trail do not say Adeline, the last name escapes me. They just say River Trail. So be aware of that. It's another park where the trail name and the map don't get along. And so begins the River Trail. Nice view of the river. Lots of terrapins in that. So there's some woods with some grass in it, and very little undergrowth other than that grass. So check. I'm apparently walking this backwards. I walk up and I see the back side of all the signs. That's okay. I'll stop and read the other side. But I almost took off down that connector trail that goes a mile away from where I want to be. And in case you get bored on the trail, here's a nice game of limbo you can play. This tree's not very low to the ground. You have to just duck, and you can get there. Caught my backpack on it. But see, I didn't even have to crawl. That's probably why they never came through and cut it down. As you head uphill away from the river, the trail starts to get a little rocky as you enter into more of a cedar glade type environment. There's not a lot of markers. There's that thing. There's that. I've seen 2 blaze markers and 2 of the little hiker things. But once you get into the up towards the top of the hill, the trees get taller. So I was filming. A scene. Never mind. There's a spider web right here I almost walked into. But the spider has bailed. He like jumped down on the ground. I guess I scared him. So we're walking around. I mentioned earlier there was a hill. It's not much of one. It's a pretty mild hill actually. Throughout this trail, a good portion of it is recovered farmland. I guess that they bought up, let grow up. There's plows and stuff just in the woods, trapped. Keep an eye out for that. Look around. Quit looking at your feet. Enjoy the view. So I'm pretty sure I'm nearing the end of the trail. It was a little bit of a hill right there at the end. Now I'm going down it. Because it's kind of just woods and then more woods. You do have two distinctive kinds here. I mean, when you're in the cedar glades, it's obvious, and then it butts right up to like a hardwood forest. And that's pretty obvious too. Both are beautiful. It's an easy hike. Well, they say moderate. They reserve easy for the paved stuff. But as far as natural surface trails go, this is relatively easy. There's not a lot to trip over. If you want to be on a date and you want to be able to look at the other person and talk to them, this would be a good trail for that because there's not a whole lot to trip on. There's a lot of trails in this park, and they're all kind of the same. So you can come out. They have campgrounds and cabins, and they even have a restaurant here. But we're not far from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. It's a real cute little town. If you want to camp and then see if you can hike all the trails in a weekend, go for it. I think their website said there was a total of 10 miles. I'll have to sit down and add this up. It connects so many times. I'm gonna have to do some math to figure out my mileage. But a lot of the trails connect here. So a lot of the trails connect. So if you want to just bump from one to the next, I mean, I'm barely winded. I barely even broke a sweat. And it's 98 degrees today. So that's one thing to consider. The blaze markers finally picked up. I guess I was just initially in a section that didn't have a lot of them. Ooh, watch this. Watch this. And then I tripped. This is also a good trail for beginners. If you got 10 and 11-year-olds, this would be a good way to break them in to hiking. Because, I mean, a loop, you're going to be a mile or two in a loop. And it's nothing super strenuous. I know they're kids, they're indestructible, but you got to keep up with them. Anyway, I enjoyed this trail. Y'all should check it out. Thought I was at the car, but I'm still going. I'm gonna check my map.